Well, I'm actually here for a conference, a behavioral health conference, but I reached out to Michelle Gerber, who is, of course, the chair of the Benton Franklin Recovery Coalition. I incidentally was with Michelle when she launched that coalition 6 years ago before I was a lawmaker, and told her I was coming to town. I have been supporting the recovery center here in the Tri-Cities, and just told her I'd be in town and if there's anything she wanted me to see or anyone she wanted me to meet, and lo and behold, organized an entire afternoon out of it, and a tour of the recovery center, but also an opportunity for the community to come together and talk about why this recovery center is so important. I think it's a beautiful model. It is something like this. So we are in desperate need of beds, as everybody knows, and the fact that this facility is so large, its size is very compelling, frankly, to the legislature, because there's so much you can do. And in fact, even when it's fully built out with current funding and appropriation levels, there's still going to be more space. So there's conversations about adding pediatric services, for example, down the road, which gives somebody like me, who's got all sorts of ideas around human services, a lot of excitement about ways that we could continue to partner. But it, the array of services and how comprehensive it's going to be, that a person could come here and get withdrawal management services and then go to residential treatment for substance use disorder. And in fact, they may go from the 23-hour crisis receiving facility and then to a secure withdrawal management facility and then to inpatient, all here in their community. The reason I'm in public office at all is because of the population that this facility is intending to serve. I accidentally became a politician because I was advocating to the legislature to help people with mental health and substance use challenges, and to me it's a beacon of hope here. I work on behavioral health across the whole state. In fact, I was in Okanagan County last night working on similar issues, so it far transcends my district specifically. The closest example I can think of was in 2015, the legislature had funded a project called the Woodmont facility in Federal Way, and it was intended to be quite similar to this. It was a campus with inpatient psych, inpatient substance use disorder treatment, withdrawal management. And because of vociferous community pushback, that facility was never built and the funding was pulled. So this will really be the first of its kind to have so many different types of services all located on one campus. And I very much think that could be a model. It's unusual, again, to find a vacant facility of this size and then to be able to pull the funding together and braid it together to actually bring the dream to life. It's an example of a community identifying a problem and actually attacking it, and bringing together leaders in that community who were not afraid to say, actually, please put this in my backyard, as opposed to what we normally hear, including in the liberal district that I represent, put that anywhere but here. And so I think that is part of the heartwarming story here. I think it's an extraordinary example of regular citizens. Michelle Gerber, she's a lot of things, but more than anything, she's a mom. And she's a mom who buried her son because of substance use disorder. And she's a mom who's helped her daughter battle substance use disorder and is fortunately now in recovery. And she's retired. She could be traveling Europe, but instead she is pounding the pavement here in the Tri-Cities on behalf of people just like her children, including her son that she lost. And that is incredibly inspiring to me. She's also brought people who are in recovery themselves to help join as part of the coalition, other impacted family members. I think it's an amazing narrative about the power of community, and nothing is impossible. If there's a will, there's a way. I would just say that recovery is not only possible, it's actually probable. If you provide people access to quality care within their window of willingness, they recover, period. We don't do that as a state. We don't. We make it, it takes an act of Congress and an act of God to get treatment in the state of Washington right now. And we make people crawl over broken glass to get care. And that will no longer be the story here in the Tri-Cities when this facility opens. And they won't even have to leave the building. They're able to transfer between these different levels of care. They're able to receive care in their community, near their family, and that's absolutely everything.